Hi and welcome back to Inspired Carping. Here I'm going to share some hints and tips on all things bait and tackle, alongside my journey back into the carp fishing world after some time away. Today's video I'm just going to show through some of my catches that I've had through April and May, just to see what I've been doing on the Palatrax product. So a bit of an update really, just around catch rate. Also I've had a message on one of my videos, or a comment on one of my videos, that asked about the iBite float that I've been using. They purchased one and they just want a sort of tip on how I use it or how it should be used. Now I'm not going to tell you how to use your own floats, each to their own. They can be used as a normal float if you're just float fishing for any species really, but I'm just going to show you what I do with mine, which is not dissimilar to what I do on the deck. It's just that with the iBite float, it just enables me to have something else to do in the darker evenings. So the iBite. So this is an iBite float. This is one of the older versions. The newer version is sitting in my tackle box. This one, the older version. Newer version has a black base, but it's exactly the same. So the iBite float is predominantly a night float, has battery operated. Now how I use it is just on, and I've got one sort of set up here. There'll be a couple of stop beads there, a couple of stop beads, or you can do some non-toxic shot if you don't have the stop beads. And then coming down to the business end, it is no different to what I fish on the deck, only the fact that this stone is slightly smaller. So this stone's about 1.5 ounce. It still means I can wrap some method mix around it, so it's close to my hook bait, but then it's still exactly the same bead, just over the swivel onto my LQ rig, which has caught me all of my fish so far this year, and then size 6 wide gape grips hook. So that'll be the setup, sitting on the bottom, but obviously float fishing, so over depth. So it'd be sort of float ledgering. In the old days I used to do it for tench, I now do it for carp. So these iBite floats are really simple. Once you've bought one, you just take the top off, and inside there is a battery. I think they last about 40 continuous hours. Turn the battery round, pop it back in, and then there's a watertight seal on float as you just screw it back out. You don't need to over tighten it, just screw it back up. Now I'm not sure whether you can see that, so I'm just going to turn the lights off. And that's what you can see at night. Now obviously different how you want to set your float at night, the different depths that you want to use it at. So that's one of the iBite floats. Now there has been a range brought out by Palatrax, so there's a few more now to the range. This one I would fish predominantly sort of a medium range, not long distance. There is another one, and I will put a link in the video. There is another one with a bulbous end, which is for longer distance. But Palatrax have actually brought out a video showcasing all the new range, so I will put a link to that at the end of this video, just so you can see that. And obviously to turn it off is just literally unscrew it, turn the battery back round, and then put it back in. I do have another one of their range at the minute. Again, this is more of a sort of a pole float design. However, I use this for the margin fishing, so if I'm only fishing short distances out, I tend to use this one. So again, a couple of rubber stop beads, and then with this one, it's got a tiny battery in it, just a tiny little battery. Now this one does come with 2 different colours, so you can have. Again, I will turn the lights off just so you can see it, but I think you can maybe see that. But this comes in red, which I have here. There's also an interchangeable top. That's extremely bright. You can see these for a very long distance. I know this one I do use for the margin fishing. However, And again, this one for a bit mid-range fishing, you can see them from a pretty decent way out. So they're the iBite boats. Again, with similar with that, you just turn it round and pop it back together, and then it's turned itself off. Okay, they do come in protective cases, so they do come in a protective case, which that's for the other one. They come in a protective case, so when they're in your tackle box, or however you want to transport your tackle, they're nice and safe as well, so they're not going to get snapped or broken. It's pretty robust. So that's the sort of, I've got the two iBites in there. I'm going to invest in a couple of others. They also do ones for the end of your rod as well, that and one of them actually activates as the rod tip moves, so it could be probably good for sea fishing. So they're the iBites. That's how I use them. Exactly the same really as I do with my bottom rigs, just a smaller stone with the method mix around it, and then it's as simple as that. Over depth fishing that I used to do as a kid. I now have done it for carp. So in this video I'm going to show you a selection of photos of the carp that I caught during a period of April and May. Went out on 6 sessions, had 13 carp during that period of time. The biggest was a 20-pound mirror, and 4 of the 13 were caught on the iBite float. And I will try and put in each of the photos which one was caught on the iBite float just for some interest. But yeah, so 4 of them over the overnight sessions, and I generally fish probably from about 9 o'clock in the evening through till midnight, 1 o'clock, when I want to settle down for maybe try and get some sleep on the iBite, just for a bit of difference and a bit of fun, really. It's a lot more different to waiting for your bite alarms to scream off and then dive out your bivvy. To sit there and I would say warm summer evenings, but they're not particularly that warm at the minute. They're not particularly that summery. But it is quite nice just to sit out watching a float at night, and as soon as that disappears, when the carp's on it, I mean, it's pretty rapid. It just disappears in front of your eyes, and then the fight's on, and it feels completely different. I know it shouldn't, but it does. It feels completely different float fishing for carp than it does just sitting on the bottom with a pop up or zig fishing or something like that. It just feels completely different float fishing. So if you want to give it a try, pop over to the Palatracks website. They are now, I think, the full range on the site now, so you can pick these up. I think they're about a tenner. They're not overly expensive. Also sell the batteries, which obviously last 40 hours. But they sell the spare batteries as well. So if you like those and you like the idea of night fishing with a float, and as I say, simple tactic the way I use it, then give it a go. Right. So moving on, here's a selection of the fish that I've caught during April and May of this year, all on a Palatracks product. Hope you enjoy. Until next time, tight lines everyone.